If we study the past and remember it, there are better chances that that won't happen in the future.
I think the best way for us to understand that commemorating the Battle of Vimy Ridge is not a glorification of the war, is by telling the stories of those who were involved in it.
You were just 21, and then you just weren't. See, the thing about such a war is that you can never be certain. What were your motivations for this? Giving your life away? Was it for the promise of peace? Is that what you found when you came? Were you just fed up with home, or was there someone in mind when you packed up your bags, possibly for the very last time? I guess I'll never really know, and I'll just have to accept that. But at least I know your name, because some of these stones will never have them.
Lorsque je suis allée visiter mon premier cimetière, j'ai été vraiment surprise de voir les nombreuses rangées de soldats s'enligner sur des centaines de mètres. C'était très émouvant pour moi. Il y avait du beau gazon vert, des fleurs, des beaux arbres. Je me suis rendu compte qu'un cimetière, c'est un endroit d'hommage. Un cimetière, ça représente un endroit où tout le monde peut être en paix. Les soldats et les visiteurs.
It's one thing to read it in a book and say, wow, that many people died, but looking at memorials and cemeteries where it just goes on past the horizon and you can't see an end to the death, it's a lot different.
In school, the information is on paper and in photos. In museums, the artifacts are behind glass, and even at memorials, the land is preserved, so it's not quite like it was during the war. At Maison Blanche, there was no barrier between where the soldiers stood and where we stood. The carvings on the walls were open in front of us, so it was different from any other experience I had. It was surreal, as you could really imagine what it was like living there during the First World War.
The Vimy Pilgrimage Award has really connected me with the soldiers that were actual human beings. Instead of it being a name or a number, it became an actual person that had emotions, a family, and a life to live, just like I do today. My neighbors had a great-grandfather in the First World War, and on this pilgrimage, I got to visit his name at Menin Gate and read a poem to him that was written by his uncle. So to relive, to express those words in front of his name is something that I will never forget, and for him as well, he will never forget.
I think it was definitely when we first came up to the Vimy Memorial. It was early in the morning, so there was a lot of fog, and we were walking down the path and we couldn't see much around us. And then we walked all the way around. It was right in front of us, but we couldn't even tell that it was there. And then we turned around, and then within like a few steps, the two pillars appeared, and then within 2 more steps, the whole thing was there, and it was incredible.
Pour moi, le moment le plus mémorable, ça a été aussi au mémorial de Vimy, mais ça a été le soir juste avant qu'on parte, parce que il y a de la pluie, un peu de brume, on voyait le monument avec l'éclairage, fait que ça faisait comme quelque chose de magique.
Canada right now isn't just British, it's not just French, it's a whole bunch of different people from all across the world, and that was what made the First World War the First World War, was because of all the different people from all the different colonies and around the world were able to come there. And that was just amazing to be able to see all the different gravestones and all the different views of everything.
No one was the same, everyone's story was different, and that representation was very vivid in our learning about the First World War. Have the men who fought in that World War, along with everyone else who helped, to thank for the position we are in today.